about them Cowboys?
Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And I haven't covered FS1 Speak in a hot minute, Cowboys Nation. But looking at yesterday's segment, I have to give y'all my raw and uncut on it. On yesterday's episode, the crew had a segment talking about if the Dallas Cowboys should have faith in Brian Schottenheimer and if this team will be any different from last year. So let's take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're gonna do. We're gonna come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to Joy Taylor, Paul Pierce, Keyshawn Johnson, and the playmaker, Michael Irvin.
Well, let me say it like this, and I remember my father was in heaven. He used to say this to me. He used to say, son, family can be bonded by more than just blood. Family can also be bonded by a common great love. And all these players, their common great love was, this is our coach. Now what I need out of them is to come together as a family and play like they're trying to represent, we made this choice. I say all the pressure laying smack dead right on that team. Nobody had Coach Schottenheimer getting an opportunity to be a head coach, let alone talking about an opportunity to be the Dallas Cowboys head coach. And as conversations have gone on, I heard, from people that he's so charismatic, real good talking with people and everything. So I want this to be the moment. All the past years, Dallas has had the players with the skill, but I've always complained that I didn't see the collective will. This, I hope, it helps them become and have that collective will, become a tighter family, get all of that DeMarcus Lawrence and Michael Parsons arguing out the locker room, and let's get on one common goal, and that's winning for our coach, because we put him in a pressure-tight situation.
Boy, Michael Irvin over there spitting them facts, ain't he? But Cowboys Nation, I am going to keep it a buck with you. This right here is how I feel about you guys. Blood doesn't constitute family. Family's all about the people that you hold so near and dear to your heart that you hold close to your chest. Family's all about who you hold the utmost respect for and would do anything for said person or people. There have been people who have been watching this channel from day one. There are people that have been watching during the 12-5 seasons, and they're still here after the 7-10 season. No matter what the Dallas Cowboys do, these people have been here to prop them up after a devastating season while cheering them on during a good season. We may disagree, but we can always come together and have conversations about the Dallas Cowboys and about life. I can tell you what's going on personally, and y'all are here like family, and I love y'all for that. So do me a favor, angry Cowboys fan family, never change. But jumping into the next clip, Keyshawn Johnson gives his perspective on the topic. So let's take a listen to that so we can come back and talk about it. Roll the clip.
When you play for somebody, you're going to have a great relationship with that individual that's coaching you as a quarterback coach, receiver coach,
right,
O-line coach. But we're talking about, Paul,
yes,
53 members of a team, plus whatever staff, plus the medical staff, plus the practice squad guys. They all got to be able to pitch in to help you conquer the common goal at the end of the day, which is to make a run deep into the playoffs. We ain't talking about winning 12 games, because they can win 12 games. They could have won 12 games with Mike McCarthy again last year, but everybody got hurt.
And I don't know about that, Keyshawn Johnson. I had a wide receiver coach that couldn't coach himself out of a wet paper bag, that couldn't coach himself in Madden, let alone in semi-pro football. Wide receivers had to do their homework at home because bro was not acclimated to the receiver position. It wasn't like the receivers were playing for their position coach, though. We were playing for the overarching success of our football team and to win a championship for ourselves and our head coach who was retiring. We were playing because our team had great camaraderie with each other and our head coach. There came a time when our head coach told us that he would be retiring after the season, and that gave us the drive and the will to want to play harder to bring a championship home, and we did. I hope the Dallas Cowboys players have that same outlook when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer. I feel the offense will, but will the defense? Only time will tell. But hopping into the third clip, Paul Pierce gives his perspective that some Cowboys fans have in order to help with their expectations. So let's take a listen to what Paul Pierce had to say so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut.
I don't see that there's any pressure. I don't have no expectations for them. I mean, they didn't make any offseason moves. Yeah, I know it's the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, and the star hasn't won since Michael's been there. I say no pressure, no expectations. Pressure's a privilege. They're not privileged to have that. So if they're going to continue to stand still, not make any moves, try to get better through the draft, no pressure on the Cowboys. I'm sorry.
You know, I tend to agree with Paul. I honestly don't know. I don't know how much people are going to care about the Cowboys this year. I don't think they have it anymore.
Oh, you guys joking. You guys are going. Every game they lose, you're going to start the show. Cowboys lose again. Are you joking?
I think they're going to have to lose with flair. I don't know. I kind of think they're cooked. Unless they come out this year with a really good season and win a playoff game.
Had to cut her off real quick, Cowboys Nation, because she went on this whole diatribe. But Cowboys Nation, some people look at it this way in order to save their expectations, and I don't blame them. The Dallas Cowboys have to show that they mean business, and Brian Schottenheimer has to get it to where these Dallas Cowboys players want to run through a brick wall for him. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Okay, Cowboys Nation. 3 out of the 4 commentators are sitting up there saying that they would not care if the Dallas Cowboys were bad this year. Michael Irvin, he had it right, though, because those same people who are saying that they wouldn't care unless the Dallas Cowboys won a playoff game said the exact same thing when we were 12-5. What happened? They were talking about us all this past season. Even after the season was over and the playoffs began and the Dallas Cowboys were at home, the talking heads were still talking about the affairs of the Dallas Cowboys. When the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, who were the talking heads talking about? The Dallas Cowboys. But Michael Irvin was talking about the team getting together and winning for Brian Schottenheimer, having that passion for their head coach to go out on that field and to play together as a unit instead of playing for themselves. This is something that I've wanted to see happen with the Dallas Cowboys for a number of years now. I also think that the chip on Brian Schottenheimer's shoulder has gotten big enough to give everyone that drive to play at their best and to go places that this organization hasn't been in decades. As all Cowboys fans are fully aware, though, Schotty is a part of a coaching lineage. We all know his father was the great Marty Schottenheimer and wasn't able to bring home a Super Bowl championship. He unfortunately took that to his grave. When Rex Ryan's Jets went to the AFC Championship, Brian Schottenheimer was their offensive coordinator. In a video before the game, it was shown that Brian Schottenheimer had the dream of winning a Super Bowl and giving his father the Super Bowl ring. That is a huge driving force, Cowboys Nation. A great motivator that could be passed down to the team. A great way for this team to buy into their head coach. Players have gone on record as saying that they love the idea of the players and coaching staff all fighting for their first NFL championship together. Everyone in the Dallas Cowboys organization, the player personnel, as well as the coaching staff, have that singular goal of bringing that championship back to the star and to have the first championship ring on their finger. When you have that goal as a complete unit, the possibilities are endless, Cowboys Nation. But honestly, I feel that Brian Schottenheimer has this Dallas Cowboys team ready to run through a brick wall for him. The optimism that the players have in Schotty, the fact that the 2023 offense was a direct result of Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Brian Schottenheimer going to Big Mike, informing him that the offense needed to evolve. That motion needed to be incorporated into that offensive scheme. After that meeting happened, it was off to the races. But I understand where Paul Pierce is coming from, saying that he doesn't have any expectations for this Dallas Cowboys team this upcoming season. Joy Taylor, she actually agreed with Paul Pierce on this. So I am going to timestamp this segment of Speak and hold them to account. If it is what you're talking about, Don't be opening your shows with news from the Dallas Cowboys. Don't hinge your show on the movements of the Dallas Cowboys. I bet my truck outside that it's not going to be the case. That Joy Taylor will get up there and talk about the Dallas Cowboys in a negative light, even if they're doing better than last year. I bet you that FS1 will not allow any talking head on that network to not talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody knows how their bread is buttered, and that's by reporting on the drama from the Dallas Cowboys organization. But do I expect the Dallas Cowboys to make it to the playoffs this year? Judging from last year, the implementation of an entirely new coaching staff, the fact that the front office is setting a team up to have to rely on rookies yet again, I don't know if we're built for the playoffs as the Dallas Cowboys sit right now. I do want our Dallas Cowboys to make it to the playoffs. Let's not get that twisted. Even if they make it to the playoffs and they get bumped during Super Wildcard Weekend, that is a step up from where this team saw themselves at the end of last season. I understand some people don't believe in moral victories, but those moral victories give you something to take from so that you can prepare your team for the next season. Those close losses show you where you went wrong and gives you the opportunity to correct those wrongs in order to be ready for the next season. It shows you what you need in order to continue to build to that wildcard team that you had the previous season. So, Cowboys Nation, do I believe that Brian Schottenheimer can help lead this Dallas Cowboys team to a championship? With the motivation of winning one for your father and continuing the great legacy of Schottenheimer football? Yes, I do. Let's not get it twisted, Cowboys Nation. I don't expect it for this year. I don't expect that for Brian Schottenheimer's first year being the head coach, but I feel with the Dallas Cowboys having the coaching staff that they have, and if Jerry and Stephen Jones are willing to surround him as well as Dak Prescott with talent, we could be at the start of something special. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. Cowboys Nation, what do you guys really feel about Brian Schottenheimer? Do y'all feel that this team will buy into his passion and his desire for winning the championship? Y'all know how we do it. We always talk about it in the comment section. But if you're digging this content and want to help the Angry Cowboys fan reach its goal of 10,000 subscribers, drop a like on this video and please share it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are DC for life and have faith in what Brian Schottenheimer has cooking for our Dallas Cowboys, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, film breakdown, draft coverage, or Madden 25 or College Football 25 gameplay. As much as everybody wants you to believe this, a championship is not an easy win, Cowboys Nation. As much as some Cowboys fans would have you believe it is, in reality, a championship takes more than your quarterback playing out of his mind. It takes the entire organization buying into that mission. So let's start the mission by landing some great talent in this upcoming draft, continuing the trend in free agency. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.